This track had to play for quite a long period of time without getting boring. It had to be set in the 70s and also for a drive-in movie theater. Sound a little bit futuristic. So the real trick was to just get it to not feel too redundant or get old while solving a scenario. My name is Paul. I wrote all the music for the Rise of the Golden Idol base game and 2 of its DLCs. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the Neptune, which is the track for the scenario blockbuster release. So, one of the biggest issues for longer puzzles, especially in this game where it was going to be kind of one song, and this is the case for all the scenarios, one song that I had to play for, 20, 30 minutes sometimes. How do you make one song loop that long and not make it get boring? Well, the trick, there was a couple key things that made that happen. Number one, it's a longer song. It's almost 6 minutes long. It has several sections, so it's always kind of changing. That way, when it loops, there's a lot to digest. It's not just, a 3-minute loop. That's the big thing. It really helps stretch it out. And the other aspect is just adaptive layers. So it's a little bit more ambient for the first half of the scenario, maybe two listens through, and then somewhere in your third listen in the game, you solve the puzzle, or you solve part of the puzzle, and then now there's some adaptive layers that come in to bring more energy, more impact, and help it be a little bit more satisfying and help you push towards the end of solving the scenario. So, a key instrument here was definitely the Prophet 8. You hear it right at the beginning, Dave Smith. As it gets into there's another next section of the song. As it gets into it, at first it's just a little more ambient, setting up this sort of kind of like a chorus. Quite chill, just chill little disco groove going, just feeling still very spacious. So how to make that section have more impact later on as the adaptive layer comes in. Let me pull it up here. Here's a fader that we can use. So this is what it sounds like, same exact spot when electric bass and electric guitar come in. And also there's a little bit more of the snare has a little bit more impact. I'll fade it in. And I try to do something similar here the second time through the chorus, because it's has a kind of a longer ambient thing, and then a chorus, and then another ambient thing, and then another chorus. We'll hear the second time through without it. cool little cascading synth going on. This time I'll play it with everything in, and that's part of how the adaptive layers were working. That cascading synth, it's mostly reverb, but now it's going to be a bit stronger, more dry signals mixed in with the addition of the bass guitar. So that helps tremendously with an atmosphere shift. So having the longer song in general, plus adaptive layers, really helps it, stop. It keeps it from feeling redundant, because you really want the player to stay focused on the puzzle. There's a lot they're trying to figure out. It needs, in my opinion, it needs to be kind of chill. It can be tricky to make music feel kind of intense while people are solving puzzles. I think it's good for there to be flashes of intensity, but overall it needs to be something that keeps them thinking about what they're doing, because it's a puzzle game. So that's kind of the heart of how it's pulled off. Longer track, adaptive layers. So a lot of times game music is pretty short, but whenever you're going to be sitting on a song for a while, stretch it out, add different sections, look for ways to talk to the developer about using adaptive layers, so the mix can change, and it's not always the same thing over and over and over again, even though it kind of is the same thing over and over again. It just feels a little bit different. So I hope that was helpful, thinking about how to do this, and make your music stretch for a longer period of time. Thank you.